Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. We're talking about me possibly going to the league at one point in my life. The NFL definitely was in my sights until I was a senior in high school, and I was like, that ain't happening. I just want to go to college. It did. And then I was like, that ain't happening. I just want to make some money. I just want to make some money.
That's all he wanted to do.
Hey, listen, man. We got Shawn Zittel, of course, B-side. How you feeling, big dog?
Feeling good, man. I loved the fight last night.
You had a good time last
was
night,
Was that Jesse's fight ringside?
Yeah, that was
Muratalla
good.
Cruz was a good John.
Good John. He said good John. Philly, that was a good John.
Hard work, Hart.
You already know. I'm in
Yeah.
the building. I mean, my brother.
We talked about this a minute ago, Zittel. We talked about him and I doing the podcast show and just, Jesse and I have some history that goes back 2007, 2006, 2007, maybe even 2005. We got some history. Of course, we fought before. We trained together and stuff like that. And I got on the line with you because I was in Philly, and I had come to Philly just a couple of times recently. And like I haven't been to Philly in ever. Right. I hadn't been to Philly since I was a kid. Since they had the Silver Glove Regionals out there. Like that's how long it had been since. Right. So, but the way I work now is, wherever I go, I'm just getting the work done and I'm out, right?
Right.
I had came to Philly like twice, and then the next time I come out, somebody's like, "Yo, you know Jesse?" I was like, "Oh snap!" Like I forgot Jesse was here.
Right.
I said before I leave Philly, somebody give me his number. So that's how I got your number. And we was talking on the phone. We gonna share some stories. It's gonna be story time at some point on the show. And Jesse and we was sharing some stories, and I was just like, as we're talking, I'm like, yo, I gotta have him come on the podcast.
Definitely.
Like it don't happen often.
Right.
We get two things. You get fighters who have had experience together, right? And then can also talk about it. You know what I mean?
We can.
So you sharp, I'm sharp. We're gonna have some fun with that.
You already know.
Of course, we're gonna recap the fights last night.
Okay.
We're gonna recap, or we're gonna look forward to the fights that's coming up next week in New York.
Yeah,
and then of course we'll start with Zuffa. Let me do the promos real quick. Our membership, guys, join that membership. We got some fly stuff on there right now. There's an interview with Keyshawn Davis that you missed. You're a week late because you didn't join up for our membership. Go scroll down right there on the join. Click that thing. iPhone, got no problem to do it no more. You ain't got to get on the computer to do it. If you happen to be on the computer, you're at home working or something like that, just take a little second to scroll down just a little bit, click that join, and join our subscription. We got a lot of good stuff on there. And like I keep saying, we got some really good stuff coming up soon. I just got in touch with some people to make some big things happen. I ain't going to say no names right now, but
I don't know.
Also, I
don't even know this. Now I'm curious.
Hey, don't even know.
I'll find out.
Hey, listen, man, we ain't get no fan question this week. I'm a little tight about that, man. I enjoy seeing the fans. I've enjoyed the questions that you guys have brought before. You guys have even given me and Zittel some ideas for some stuff we want to do for the show
like
as
movies.
Well. So the movies thing and all that kind of stuff. So bit.ly/ask TPWP. Send your question in. Some of y'all probably meant to do it and forgot. I forgive you. Let's get them things up in here. Like I said before, ask us just about anything. Make sure you introduce yourself in 60 seconds. Keep it at that.
Get your camera time in.
Yeah, man. Get your FaceTime.
Remind them on Twitter next time, Shawn. Yeah. Get on social media. Give them a reminder. People
I ain't
forget.
gonna do that.
You got to want them to come. You know?
And one more thing, man. I'm in here looking fresh, looking fly today. I'm feeling good about myself.
He look good.
I said, you know what? Let me show everybody what we got going on.
Shoes with the tie is me.
You guys know we have SP Suits. We have Shawn Porter Suits and Services. That's the official name of my business, SP Suits for short. And want you guys to just take a look at this this promo that should be running right now as I'm speaking. But we put something fly together that we could shoot out to some people. I want to get some of these football players that are being drafted this year. My goal is to get one player in the SP suit this year. So, and then hopefully we grow from there. But that was a goal that I've had for a long time, but I'm being intentional about it this year. So, everybody else out there, man, just want y'all to see what we got going on. We do shoes, we do the suits, we do the shirt. Everything is tailor made to fit you, and we fit you to fit you. You don't fit nobody else. Your style ain't nobody else's. Your personality ain't nobody else's. And that's what we do with our suits. We fit you to fit you.
Is that Gator?
It might could be. It's not. This one ain't.
Oh, okay.
This one ain't.
Yeah.
What's the last one I got? I didn't do a Gator.
Yeah.
The last shoe I just did is Cobra.
What if you have no personality? Because you said you'll suit it to anyone's personality. What if you're a
Like
dry
you, for
person?
instance.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. What if you don't?
The black, we've done a black suit for you. The shit's just black. It's just
Okay,
black. You know?
Gotta check all boxes.
Whatever you need, you know what I mean? Yeah, like if you are, you know, that chauffeur that wants to look good, you know what I mean? You don't got to get all the trinkets and all that kind of stuff. And like I tell people, man, we're not going to bust you in the head with our prices. You know, everything is fair. And we fit that to fit you too. So, yeah. Hey, listen, before we get to Jesse, we're going to try to squeeze all this in as quick as we can because I want to get to you a little bit more than we get to everything else.
Absolutely.
Zittel, I need you to kind of quarterback this thing for me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I boycotted the Zuffa fight that just happened on Friday night.
Well done, sir. Why'd you boycott it?
You know, I drove by and it kind of upset me that I was as close to the Apex Center as I am, and I didn't get a call to broadcast. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to watch this first one.
The Metapex now.
The Metapex, I don't give a damn what it is.
Yeah.
If I was there, if I was hired, I know where I was supposed to be.
Absolutely.
I just didn't have the time, and I am a little tight about not getting hired in, but we'll see. Something in the future, maybe. Right. But kind of take us through it a little bit.
So to start with the positive, I like Robert Merriweather.
Which is funny. I'm putting a lot of heat on you for something that you didn't really want to.
No, right. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've been covering the sport 16, 17 years now since I was a teenager. So it's like, you know, I was here well before them, and I may have. I think, you know, people almost grew tired of all my things I have to say about Zuffa's entry into boxing, but ultimately they're putting on the sport in this city that I live in, so I watched it, and my thoughts were, you know, Robert Merriweather's a good prospect. He is a guy I knew from Floyd's gym as a teenager, working the mitts with Floyd. He's like Shawn. He's a hard worker.
Right.
And if anything, will be an overachiever as opposed to an underachiever.
Okay.
And he looked good. He started off hot, knocked the other kid from Idaho who was undefeated, knocked his mouthpiece out. Then he tapered off in the second half of their 6-round fight. Clearly won the fight. I think he's a good prospect at 20 years old. Emiliano Cardenas looks solid out of the Robert Garcia gym. Julian Rodriguez and Kane Sandoval had the fight of the night. They had a war. Nice. Callum Walsh.
Julian Rodriguez from Atlantic City?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
And you know, that I asked about the Ali Act in September, and there's a lot of talk of fighter pay, which is a very, you know, interesting and fair topic about it, especially when Justin Gaethje on the UFC side wound up headlining a lightweight title fight and won. Not upset, but knocked off the apple cart that TKO wants to build up in Paddy Pimblett. And they're struggling to make stars like they once did, like your Conor McGregors, like your Chuck Liddells. And so, and he was talking about the fighter pay as they're kicking off this $1.1 billion a year annual deal, and he's saying, I'm not even getting $1 million, and I'm the headliner at T-Mobile, you know, for this first. So, anyways, but that aside, I bring that up to say, some of these guys, like a Julian Rodriguez, were getting more money than they ever made with Top Rank.
Yes, they
so
was.
to give credit where it's due, you know, some of the Robert Merriweather was getting more exposure than he ever has. Getting an opportunity from the big current promoters. So, you know, to give credit where it's due.
And again, real quick, just on him, I do know Robert Merriweather, when you mentioned him tapering off near the end of that fight, that's just simply inactivity.
Yes.
You know, when you haven't been in the ring in a little while, you start approaching round 5 and round 6. I understand it's quote-unquote only a 6-rounder, but when you aren't used to putting in a specific amount of energy on fight night. The energy on fight night, Jesse, if you can, is different than the energy in sparring. You know what I mean?
And everywhere else. I mean, you absolutely right. When you touch on that topic, people don't think inactivity doesn't matter sometimes to certain people, and it really does.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do in that gym with 18-ounce gloves on when there's nothing you gotta face and there's nothing, all the marbles is not on the table. It's a very, very different energy. When you translate that to a fight, you got all the marbles on the line. Everything is here. Everything you got to take from the gym and put in an actual fight, you have to process that in a real actual with 10-ounce gloves on.
Yeah.
And somebody's throwing these punches hard back at you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of emotions and things like that. Like you just said, Shawn, that's right.
Right.
Like, that's right. People don't understand that though.
Right. So, Jen, that just due to the taper, to me, nothing to be overly concerned about. He's gonna be sharp moving forward. He's a very sharp, very articulate fighter in the ring, and he'll get it together. But nothing to really be concerned about. I know other people might have saw the taper off and it's like, okay, maybe move on to the next. Like the kid's sharp, and the more active he becomes, Zuffa, this is one thing that Zuffa's gonna provide is fighters being able to stay active.
Right.
So, go ahead, Zittel.
And then for the main event, Callum, it was a underwhelming fight. Actually, maybe the worst fight of the night. But Callum Walsh kind of fights like Conor McGregor. He's a southpaw, rangy, likes to keep it long, jumps in with his shots, got a little bit of athleticism. He's decent. He's nothing bad. Right. Ocampo was just a step behind, a little too slow. Right. He timed him. He had a good middle part of the fight, and Walsh, his form deteriorated a little bit in the second half of the fight, and that's why he got dropped. He was jumping in off balance.
I saw that. Walsh, then to me, I don't think Walsh really was prepared for that moment, for that whole Zuffa thing. I think he fought good, but I think, like you said, he start falling apart just a little bit, and I think that's what cost him.
Yeah, and I mean, but now for the bad part was when I started watching it early on, I'm like, okay, this is good matchmaking, solid young talent with Merriweather, Nash, and Cardenas. Right. But the broadcast devolved into just, if you were playing a Zuffa Boxing drinking game, that every time Joe Tessitore and Max Kellerman tried to convince you Zuffa Boxing is the greatest thing to ever happen to the sport and in the world, you wouldn't just be pissed drunk by the end of the night, you would die. Your liver would give out in one single night.
Shoving it down your throats.
Yeah, oh, good.
AKA they need it.
Yeah.
They needed me. Let's get it together, y'all.
It was and they came out the gates hot. Max and Andre showing all their, excellent boxing knowledge. Right. And then it just slowly devolved into
a Zuffa promotion.
Zuffa this, Zuffa that. Zuffa's the savior. Max gave this speech that he's given 7 times over the last couple months about, I've waited my whole life for this. Boxing needs this. It needs this league. It's like, Max, you've called 100 times better, bigger fights on HBO before. I know he's not literally saying, I waited my whole life for Walsh Ocampo. I've waited my whole life for what this could potentially become.
Right.
But first impressions are everything, and I think I'm fair to say it was underwhelming. And then just for me personally, spiritually even, like it was a weird thing in my gut watching it as it went. I tried to just tune in, enjoy Robert Merriweather, enjoy the young fighters, and I'm like, this feels more like a chip towards world domination for Ari Emanuel, TKO, and the Silver Lake Group that is this private equity fund that's prying. This feels more like just one step towards the monopolization of what they call combat sports now, getting WWE, MMA, and boxing all under one umbrella. Right. The stench of using your powers in Congress before you've ever promoted a punch being thrown in the boxing ring without Turkey's money. Right. And that's it, man. Left a funny feeling in my... I'll say the word soulless and dystopian.
Wow.
Okay?
Dystopian.
And I even think...
That's a deep...
Yeah, so that's me. I mean, look, like I said, some guys got more exposure and pay than they ever have. Do what you got to do as a fighter.
Right.
Robert Garcia explained that well. He said, I got to fight. My fighters, if they need fights, they're going to fight on Golden Boy, Matchroom, PBC, Top Rank, Zuffa. Do what you guys got to do. It's a tough business, but to say the least. But for me, man, it was hard for me to get with it. And it's going to be tough for a man who loves boxing and been covering boxing a long time to find a way to balance that when I got this icky feeling in my stomach with their venture. Yeah. And we'll see. We'll see what happens, though.
But to me, the best side of this are a couple of things. The fighters are going to stay active.
Absolutely.
You got Paramount Plus.
Right.
You know what I mean? You
got
a
different platform.
You got the platform. You got, the exposure.
Right.
And this is a shockwave at the moment.
It is.
You know what I mean? So
yes, it is.
It's funny because for everybody else, depending on your sentiments to the situation, I think most fighters are excited about an opportunity to fight, get the kind of money that they're going to get, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
For someone like you, Zittel, it's more of a shock of the letdown of what the sport is going towards right now and it not being essentially what you would expect or want it to be. So to me, it's a shock factor for everybody, but you're right. first impressions are everything, and what you get 2, maybe 3 more shots, and then they either roll with you or they run,
Right.
they run away from you. So
What I don't like about the Zuffa thing is they promoting it like Al Heyman did PBC. And I don't think that's fair because PBC, when they promoted fights and they promoted who they had on their roster, guys like Shawn, guys like Adrian Broner, I'm talking about real fighters that worked their way up into that position that they were in. And Zuffa just come out and say, we're going to start our own thing, and they don't have no top guys. I just think that's what it, if you're going to start a league or something like that, and you try to introduce it into the boxing fans as like a PBC slogan, I don't think that's fair. I guess for the guys that worked hard, again, like Shawn Porter, Adrian Broner, when he introduced
Keith
Charlo,
Thurman was their
Keith
first fight,
Thurman, but I'm just saying, when he introduced that whole PBC roster, it was like, this is going to be this is what we want.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Zuffa didn't come in the game like that. He didn't introduce Zuffa Boxing into the game like a PBC, but he tried to get it as a watered down version of PBC boxing. I don't think that's fair.
We're going to see what's going to happen, but 15 minutes in, so let's keep it moving because I want to make sure we
I just want to, because this is such a big talk, Shawn, in the boxing media.
Okay.
This always bringing up the fact that, PBC, Top Rank, Matchroom, they brought us into this position. And I agree with that. They all messed up. PBC came in, we're going to bring boxing back to free television like it was in the 80s. That failed, right?
Yes.
They eventually had to go back to Showtime. DAZN comes in, $1 billion budget for Eddie Hearn. We're going to take the best talent. They didn't. We're not going to do pay-per-view anymore. They wound up having to do pay-per-view. Turkey thing, same thing. We're going to come in, we're going to have no more pay-per-views. We couldn't do it. So it's not to act like, Zuffa isn't trying to, and now Zuffa, maybe they'll fail. Their real plan, I think, is to let I think a big reason their fights started off with underwhelming names is because they're trying to let the other promoters bleed out. And then eventually when that market dries up and they're trying to get a funnel system probably from USA Boxing, right, then they can take, their mission is probably to monopolize the sport like they did with mixed martial art, or not, if not be a monopoly, be by far the most dominant game in town. That's what anybody wants to do. They wouldn't be the first to fail in their initial plans. They'd just be the latest, but I want to be fair because if you criticize TKO and Zuffa, people will immediately talk about the failures of Al Heyman, the failures of Eddie Hearn, the failures of Bob Arum. So, and they're correct in doing that.
Well, I got a story about Eddie tonight, Eddie on this show.
But those guys were met with criticism at the door, whereas they share a sugar daddy. A lot of the media has been bought up by Turkey and the Ring and all that. So that criticism isn't really hitting the way it deservedly did when Al made his play and when Eddie made his play and when others have made their plays.
They didn't have Turkey behind them.
Right. So, yeah.
Well, hey, listen, man.
They had hedge fund money. They had Leonard Blavatnik, but
Congratulations, Zuffa Boxing on the launch. And, I guess we'll be talking about you moving forward.
Yeah.
So Dre was on that call.
He was.
I can't be mad.
No, I can't. No, absolutely not.
I can sit next to Dre sometimes.
Of course.
Here and there. Now I have a call with my agents tomorrow. So there it is.
Hope you get the gig, Shawn.
You think I know. You think I know. Yeah. Come on, let's get through this, man. We got to get through this. Last night was fun. Co-main and main.
Co-main and main.
Yeah.
Co-main and main.
Shout out to Amari Jones and Zaquin Moses. Very good young prospect.
Yes.
And shout out to Israel Madrimov, too.
Yes.
The way he closed that fight.
He dogged it out.
The dude is solid.
He dogged it out.
The dude is solid.
Yes, he is.
He dogged it out.
Got his rounds in. Knocked some rust off.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Khalil Cole versus my man right here, Jesse Hart. I got some stories for you, big dog. Yo. So my guy that Brad told me I wasn't going to go to the fights. I was supposed to be out of town, end up being in town. My guy said, yo, I got a ticket for you. All right, cool. He got me 2 rows in front of him, and I'm sitting between 2 guys that, I'm just meeting for the first time or whatever the case may be. So before y'all fight start, he calls me. I turn around and look at him. He said, yo, who you think gonna win this one? I said, man, listen, man. I really want Jesse to win this, and the old lady in front of me, or older lady, because I know they're going to see the mom in front of me. The mom in front of me. She said, turns around, I said, I really want Jesse to win, but I went like this. I said, but, and she goes, but he ain't gonna do it. I said, hold on, I'm trying to be politically correct here, all right? Like, let me say what I'm gonna say.
Right.
And I told him, I said, man, I don't know. I said, Jesse been out of the ring. It's been a long time. I said he like 38 now, because I know he's around me. I said he like 38 now, so I just don't know. Khalil is supposed to win this fight. Mm-hmm. I think at some point that strength might catch up to Jesse.
Right.
The fight started, bruh. And I'm on the edge of my seat. So I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, Jet, but I don't really yell at you. I'm like, Jets, come on. And you boxing, doing your thing. I'm like, all right. You was up like 3-0 or 2-1 or something like that. And you caught him with a nice clean shot. And I grabbed her on her shoulder. I said, you see that? She said, just wait. I said, I know you might be right. I hope you're wrong, but you might be right, you know? Great fight, man.
Thank you, Shawn.
Great fight.
I appreciate that,
Great fight.
man.
I thought
Appreciate
you outboxed him last night. I thought he just wasn't ready for what you brought.
Right.
And I think that there's the game plan and then there's what's happening and what do I need to do.
Right.
And a lot of fighters are kind of just who they are and can adjust to whatever's what presents itself, you know?
Right.
I was surprised that the movement gave him problems because to me that's like elementary.
Yes.
You should know how to step to somebody, you know? So I thought
off.
that was elementary. And when I saw that was elementary, I said, yo, Jess might pull this off.
Right.
The clock starts ticking and I'm like, yo, it's all good. How you feel?
I feel great, man. I'm glad to be on the show, Shawn. I feel like, you know, it's a long time coming to be on the show. I'm glad we got together.
Yeah.
The fight last night was definitely, I thought I pulled it out. I really thought I edged it out. You know, I watched it 3 times today. And I really thought I edged it out.
I ain't never seen nobody get out the ring that fast. I don't think I see it.
Yeah, you look at he didn't even stay to receive his adulation.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that, you got to look at the game plan they was going over. I think my coach, Greg Hagan, gave me great instructions to pull that out, though. Like you sometimes you need somebody to guide you through different things. So when I was in there and I was fighting, I just felt like he guided me through a lot of turmoil that was supposed to go wrong, but it went right and went in my favor. So the guy came in 8 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
The shots that I hit him with were level buildings. I know they were these right hands. These right hands I was laying on this board last night were level buildings. And I knew the weight had something to do with it. The weight kept him on his feet.
Builders.
Yes, bro. I know these right.
He sent bricks. In DC, they call it the brick.
They call it the brick hand. I know.
Yeah.
Brick
Explain that though. Explain level builders. Sexy.
When you look at
he don't understand it.
No, I do. I totally do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, explain.
You know, the jab. You touch him with the right hand. You touch him with the right hand, and then you find that joint where you lay it and you sit down on that back leg, and then you drop the hammer on him.
Yeah.
That's what we call it, level builders.
Yeah.
You change. Oh, that's a level. All right, I see. I touched him. All right, I touched him. All right, now I'm gonna sit down on this last one and see if it. So when I hit him with this last right hand, and Greg Hagan said, "That's the shot that we need." That was that last right hand that you hit him with. You touched him the first time, but that last one that you set it on that's what we need. The level builders.
Yeah.
And I think that was the difference really for myself. When I cracked him, when I hit him, it shook him up, but the weight. By him being 8 pounds overweight, Shawn.
Right.
You know how you were a former fighter.
Right.
Former champion. The highest level
right.
of everything, even in amateurs. You know how weight plays a factor in this thing. Right?
So let me explain to y'all real quick, right? So you're talking about 8 pounds. There's a depletion process that you go through depending on how much weight you're trying to lose. Right. And there was a depletion process that he didn't go through, right?
He had all his water.
Essentially, you're stronger.
Thank you.
Or not that you're stronger, because we do have that time to rehydrate and replenish and all those kinds of things. Again, he didn't have to go through a process of replenishing. You know what I mean? So
thank you.
That's what, you know, when you talk about when he's like 8 pounds on the fight night, how does that matter? Well, him being able to absorb that punch or those punches is dictated by, you know, how much he wasn't depleted. And not that we want you to be depleted, but it's just a part of the process. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
He didn't go through that process.
He didn't.
Kind of, what you think, Zittel? You think he paid for it a little bit? He slowed down at the end.
Yes, he did. He did slow down at the end. That's why I think I pulled out the last 2 rounds. But by him coming into the weigh-ins 8 pounds over, he probably been at least 205 or 207 in the ring. And I only rehydrated up to 185.
What the hell happened? It was a point where you started moving real slow and it looked like you was hurt. And I said, no. And she turned around and said, I told you it was coming. And I said,
well, I think he hit me. I think he hit me on the side of my head with a little hook, I believe it was. And I had to slow down. So, boom, I had to get my marbles back. You start getting a little dazed. But when I slowed down, I knew I had to slow down the pace to pick it up the last 2 rounds. In my mind, I said I can cruise these last 4 and beat them, try to win, but not get hurt. The last 2, though, I'm going to pick it back up. And, you know, I'm not making no excuses. This is just utterly true what happened. I had the flu 2 weeks ago. Before I came out here. Flu was filled with lungs. And you know you can't take medicine. You can't take NyQuil. You can't take none of that because they're going to piss test you. And if they find anything in your urine, you come up and, you know, I don't want no discrepancies on my loss. So I ate garlic. My trainer, Greg Hackett, said, man, you got to eat garlic.
Just get you some garlic.
Yeah, eat garlic. Some black magic. That's what I call him. I call him that. I call Greg Hackett Moses. Because he always got some stuff, man. Put this on your arm, brother. I come in, I'm like, my elbow, Greg, man, put this on. Rub some stuff for me, and it feels a lot better. I don't know what he be having. But he always keeps something in his book bag or something. He'll always have something going on. So it's just like, you know, when I start feeling better, and towards the end of the fight, I said, Greg, I'm gonna pick it up these last two. I said, I know I banked the first 4, but these last 2, I'm gonna really. And
is there a see a light at the end of the tunnel factor? Because I wonder that sometimes watching these 10, 12 round fights that you can get exhausted mid-fight, but once you get to those last couple rounds, is there like you see the light at the end of the tunnel and it gives you that extra wind you need at the end? Is that at play too, or was it just simply the flu?
It was the flu. I believe it was the flu because, again, if not, I would have been able to sustain that same momentum during the course of the fight. But I knew my lungs, I felt it. When I felt my voice in the corner, and I kept, man, give me the bucket. I got to spit this out. Let me spit this out. Let me spit this out. I said, the second one coming. It's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I don't know when, but I know it's coming, Greg.
You just kind of feel it.
And I felt it.
You just all of a sudden.
And that ninth, I said, here we go. It's kicked in. I said, the heavens is above. And I went in there and I started putting them combinations together. Whop, 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 spitting it back with it. Whop, 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 whop. So boom, ninth count. I'm like, Tim, Greg, I come back to the, that's what I want. That's what I want. He said, 1, 2, left uppercut and turn out. Don't throw the hook, just turn out. Don't go with the hook though. Give him the last shot supposed to be the last uppercut. And this is where I say great instructions was given. If you watch the tape, on the last round, I had that boom, boom. And his hand was right there. Boom, hit him with the left uppercut, turn out. And then he threw a hook from way across the, now he's trying to get
Which is the shot Greg was shouting out from the early rounds that he
getting ready to throw it. He knew, he seen it. So again, when I say all these things was coming about, Shawn, you've been there, you captured a lot of moments in sports. When these guys get desperate, that's what they try to do. You know what I'm saying? He knew he got beat, and he was getting beaten to the punch. He's the younger man. He's the bigger man. Came into the weigh-ins 8 pounds over. Might have been 205 on fight night. He had all the advantages. You know? He had all advantages, and I believe I won that fight.
When Khalil dumped him.
Yeah, frustration.
Did you think that he was gonna stay down?
No. I just thought he was frustrated and early in the fight. And by the way, context clues. I was putting it together with the level builders where I was.
With the level builders?
Okay. No, I said, okay, he's frustrated. What had happened was, you know, when you're ringside, what's beautiful about covering fights ringside, you could literally see into the eyes and the soul of a fighter. And he had taken some of his pre-fight bravado out of him. You know, you talked a lot of shit. It was entertaining to watch.
Yes.
Shout out to Khalil.
Shout out to Khalil.
Go back and watch that.
It was
definitely a lot.
I thought it was hilarious when he pulled up on your heart and like listened to the heartbeat.
Yeah, and I said, I'm all here. It's all here.
It was good Philly Jersey trash talk. You know, it was good stuff. But now you got to back it up. And you've disgraced yourself by blowing. I mean, fights have been canceled. I remember Castillo Corrales 3, the trilogy not going off because Chico said, I'm not doing it again. He already blew the weight by 3 pounds in the rematch, got knocked out. This time he came 4 pounds over. I'm not doing it. Ryan deservedly got criticism from all of us, even before the Ostarine pop, for you know, being brazen and blowing the weight and putting up 3 and bragging about it. That is a disgraceful thing to do to another man who's boiled down.
Recently,
so
Keyshawn Davis. So look at Keyshawn Davis.
Keyshawn had his fight pulled from his hometown.
Man lost his belt. Lost it. How a disgrace? How can a man be that disgraceful and that distasteful to lose the championship of the world because they didn't want to lose the weight? That's. I mean, come on. You know
And he made them look like, you know, nothing because he blew it by 7 or 8 pounds. So early on, you got this big weight advantage. And by the way, Luis Cuba Arias, who's covering fights now, he was sitting to my right, and he said, midway through the fight with some of those right hands that were bouncing off his forehead, he goes, man, that's the weight. Like, he's absorbing those shots because of that weight.
I said the same thing to my coach. I said, yo, he's taking these shots because of the weight that's on his body. And then people don't understand, during those middle rounds, I felt it. When he was laying on me, and when he picked me up and dumped me, that was all a tactic of weight.
And frustration.
And frustration, it was. Yeah. But when you feel a guy, I don't know if y'all, in the gym, when I'm sparring a heavier guy, I'm in there with I feel that weight. Like, not trying to even feel it. But when you in there and you grabbing a guy and they doing all that and they in there or they land on you, you feel that weight, brother. And that takes a lot out your body.
Yeah.
And Khalil, he missed his chance mid-fight when, you were huffing and puffing, when you were tired, very fatigued.
Very fatigued.
And he came on strong in the middle rounds and took away that early lead you built up. But then you summoned enough, in most people's eyes, to pull the fight out.
That's what the game plan was.
But he should have pushed the gas a little bit. And that is a problem for Khalil Cole. When I've seen him, he's a good fighter, but he doesn't keep his foot on the gas enough. Right. He allowed you to catch that second win and close strong, and in the eyes of most people, win the fight, but you just didn't get the decision.
Right. There you go.
So
let's go on to the main event, and then we're going to kind of zip through the fights this coming week. We are going to do a preview of Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. So we don't have to completely preview that, but we definitely gonna give you some love and let you do it yourself. And we'll talk about it just a little bit. But the main event was a banger.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
The main event, that was a good boxing match.
Yes, it was.
Good boxing match.
You see why I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not picking it. I'm not going against.
I'm sitting here and I'm watching Muratalla, and I'm like, my man. You are a good boxer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
You ain't just he's complete.
Yes.
I didn't know he was this complete.
Muratalla?
Mm-hmm. And yes.
Okay.
He was the better boxer, not just the bigger puncher and stronger fighter.
And it could be the moment too, rising to the occasion.
Yes, it could be that.
Who he was in the ring with.
Yes,
he said that after the fight.
I was proud, man. I was proud of him, and proud of what Robert Garcia did over there in the corner. I heard, man, I'm right here with Cruz's corner, man. I hear and see everything that they going through. I'm like, wow. Yeah. Eddie Hearn comes up. This was the 10th round. It was the 11th round. Before the 11th started, Eddie Hearn comes over and he's just standing right here in front of me, and I'm like, what's he doing? And when everybody starts to get out of the ring, he looks at Andy and says, "You got to do something. You got to do something." I said, "Oh, a little worried, are we?" I was like, "Oh, snap." Yeah. I said, "Yo, okay, so I'm not the only one perceiving that they could actually be losing this thing."
Right.
Zittel, man, give me what you got.
Well, this was a learning experience for Bozy, because Robert Garcia, he's a better trainer than he was 10, 11, 12 years ago in the Brandon Rios days. And he was a good trainer then.
Have to be.
But the reason he has a boxing academy, and shout out to the Philly Dungeon.
Right.
But I even told Greg on his channel before, I said, man, this kid is from the IE, the Inland Empire, and they got their own temperament out there. I mean, there's a precedent for that section of California. Andy Ruiz is from Imperial, which is not quite the IE, but it's not LA either, and it's Southern California. Right. Ryan Garcia is from Victorville. Robert and Raymond, and what these guys have in common is they have hand speed and punching power and skills. They're not just
very methodical.
Yeah, they're not just come forward, beat you on toughness kind of Mexican fighters.
Right.
They got a little bit of everything, and you saw that from Muratalla. And ring generalship isn't just ring generalship, of course, is turning the guy in the center of the ring. He wasn't able to do that. His back touched the ropes constantly in this fight, and the ring generalship was bettered by Raymond Muratalla with intelligent pressure, even taking a step out, making Cruz fall short, and then resetting the pressure right back on his ass. And his bag was deeper. Andy Cruz has a beautiful 1-2 game. Yeah. But Muratalla could loop the right hand. He could dig it to the body, dig the hook to the body, double up the hook to the body, and the head combinations,
I'm watching
uppercuts,
this fight. I'm sorry.
timing.
I'm watching this fight, and I'm thinking to myself, coming to the ring, I thought Andy Cruz was smarter than Muratalla. I said, I'm right here. I'm like, Muratalla's bag is deeper. He's got so many different things that he can go to.
Yes, he did.
And he's actually going to them.
Yes,
like,
he
it'd
is.
be different
if he wasn't using
if you got it and you just ain't, you got stuck on one thing. I've been there so many times.
I already know.
You get stuck on one thing.
Right.
This was the fight that brought out his potential. He's always shown hand speed, punching power, and smarts, but sometimes he hasn't had a sense of urgency.
Right.
He's been too patient.
Right.
That wasn't the case.
Right.
This fight.
I think his jab to the body, fellas, is so underrated. And I think that's what threw a lot of things that Andy Cruz was trying to do off. It was like he kept stabbing him here first and here, and then he'd run it up top. And Andy Cruz didn't know what to do with that. Andy Cruz is good. His movement in there is so good and it flows like water to me. Kind of not like Lomachenko, but it just had his own unique movement. And when you keep stabbing the guy here to stop the movement, you're not hitting him to the head, and then you running up to the head. And Bosey's in the corner telling him, you gotta move this way. You keep giving him the same movement. You gotta switch up the movement. And he's not switching it up. That's a fighter to me who's stuck in his own way.
I'm right there in the corner, so I hear good information coming from the corner. I'm like, yeah.
But
right,
again,
Bosey.
Andy Cruz is stuck in his own way.
Bosey, during the round, I don't know if he said that, in between, but during the round, I heard him like, man, he's not pushing him back. I told him, you gotta push this kid back. And I'm like, that's a hell of an adjustment. The right adjustment.
Right.
The right adjustment is to start trying to push him back.
Yes, it was.
You know what I mean? That's when you get into the nuances of this sport that you and I have actually experienced. That a lot of people that really know this thing loves. When you see a fighter not pushing another fighter back, you understand what's being asked of you. It's because that heart check. That mental check. I can go out there and I'm going to give y'all a realistic scenario, right? So a realistic scenario is what coach told me to do is a little harder. I'm going to have to push through to do what he telling me to do. Or I can keep doing what I'm doing. It's comfortable and I know how to do this and I'm going to just try to do it my way. You know what I mean? That's the difference between being conditioned, right? So you got physical conditioning, but then you got mental conditioning. And when you're mentally conditioned, like when you was telling the story about me running in Colorado Springs, I'm telling you, let's go.
Let's go.
You think I didn't feel that altitude?
I thought you didn't.
I've been taught. I was taught how to push through that, and mentally I'm strong. Even when physically I'm not as strong, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the difference right there.
Absolutely.
I don't know who won that fight. That fight was 50-50. I hate to be ringside judging that one. I ain't even know who won that fight. Did Monte mess up on the announcement? Because as I was walking out, I thought I heard and still.
Yeah, well, because Raymond was the defending champion.
But who won this fight?
Oh, Ray did.
That's what I thought. See, I left. So I left here. Disclaimer. I left. And y'all know me. I ain't getting on social media looking at it.
No.
I left. And I heard it and still. And then I called my guy and he said that they gave it to Cruz. All right, I feel a little bit better about life now. I feel a little bit better. I said, I don't know who won this one, man. But I think Muratalla pulled it out.
Muratalla edged it out.
He did.
I didn't even think he edged it out. I didn't think so.
No,
you didn't think it was close?
I thought it was close coming down. I think that, again, when he was jabbing to Andy Cruz's body to stop the movement, that methodical movement, Andy Cruz didn't have an answer for that. It was like, boom, both told him to press. That was the right answer. But that's not him.
Andy's good.
Yes.
To me, Zittel, why I thought it was close is because to me it seemed like he kept finding moments with timing to just catch Muratalla with 2 or 3 clean, very clean shots. And then he gets back on his movement. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. With this one, I guess maybe it was like, to each his own. What you like is what you like. Is what you like, But
he's not controlling the center of the ring though. He's getting. He's not. Muratalla's first and last in almost all the exchanges. He's the bigger puncher, landing the harder shots, working the body more consistently. And I know Bosey and you were talking about Cruz biting down. I think he did bite down to a degree.
Oh, yeah, he did. But I saw it.
He didn't have enough to keep this guy off.
No, he did because, again, he was fighting off angles, y'all. Y'all got to really look at that. Andy Cruz is an angle fighter. He fight off angles. He's not a straightforward guy. He's here, then he'll throw 2 punches here. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, when I'm here, I'm back here. Pop, pop, pop. It's angles with Cruz more than Muratalla. He fights. He'll come to you.
Right in front of you.
And throw combinations.
Boom.
Boom. And throw combinations.
And
significant.
Here, boom, boom.
Right.
Here, boom, boom. Yeah.
It all upon what you want.
I like that stuff.
It's on angles. When you look at it, coming from fighters, you got to know it.
I like that.
It's angles. He fight from angles. So, again.
It was sexy.
Yes,
it was a hell of a fight.
That was a good fight.
Yes, it was. That was a hell of a fight.
Next week, what we got, Zittel? Talk to me. You going?
Let me stop. I'll be doing. I wish
New
I
York
was,
gonna be
man.
cold, baby.
I wish I was. I heard it's gonna be brick
New York
out
gonna
there.
be brick out there,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be more even brick when they get in the ring. It's gonna be cold. This is gonna be an all out. I believe Teofimo Lopez is gonna push Shakur to going to force him into a bag that we've never seen before. I really believe that. I don't care what nobody say. That boxing, that distance, that great distance that Shakur keeps, I believe he's gonna get through that.
He gonna eat up that range, huh? Ooh,
I believe Teofimo is gonna if you watch Shakur Stevenson, his great distance with his feet, brother, and how he established it, how he dominate that distance. I'm not letting you get past here. He'll use his forearm. I seen him do it with the Marine, Jamel Herring. I seen him do it with a lot of people where if you break that distance, he'll get real physical. Teofimo's coming to break that distance. He's not gonna let him just do that. I don't believe that, y'all.
For me, I know what Shakur is coming with. I don't know what Teofimo Lopez is coming with. To me, it's a 50-50 fight. Like I said, we are gonna break it down. We can get into it just a little bit right now. Right. What about like I don't know the card too well.
Shushu against Castro.
Shushu. Oh yeah, Shushu.
That's another good fight.
That's a really good boxing match for Shushu. I think that Castro is going to force Shushu to use some of his bag that I think he might have been not really hiding,
neglecting,
just maybe neglecting, or I'm just working on this tonight, and this is what I'm gonna use. I think he gonna pull out some stuff on Castro.
Shushu?
Yeah, I got Shushu.
I never really seen the bag that he can go. I never seen how deep his thing is. I always seen punching power and a lot of normal things.
Yeah.
I always seen normal things like he does the basic great.
Okay, then he gonna be special. There it is. He gonna be special against Castro.
I need to see specialness.
Yeah. He gonna be special. You can call me. You can call me after.
Shushu's problem for me has been waiting on the counterpuncher too much. He's a really good counterpuncher.
Right.
But Castro's not gonna let him have his feet set a lot. Castro fights long and is gonna move around a lot. So I think Shushu will have to be on his jab. But I do think Bruce Carrington wins this fight. And I do think Castro will bring, like Shawn's saying, something out of him that he has been lacking in some fights, mainly a little bit more activity, a little bit more taking the lead, and a little bit more of the jab to force the counter punching windows he wants. Because if he just waits to counter punch, Castro's going to be moving off a lot and not letting him be. Yeah.
You got to be on that line for Shushu to hit you. You have to be on that line. If you're not on that line, he won't touch you.
But about Shushu?
Yes.
If
you're on that line,
something special. So
well, hey, listen, I'm not doubting the Brooklyn native.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I've seen, if you're on that line, he cooks you. If you're on the line, you're getting clipped. If you're on that line with Shushu, Bruce Carrington, he's going to knock you out.
He's got to pick his feet up and use his jab more to make him be on the line, right?
Brother, if Castro on that line, I believe he's going to sleep. But if he's not on that line, I just believe it's going to be a long night for Bruce.
Thanks for pulling up the schedule for us.
Could be.
I forgot that Carlos Adames is in the ring with Austin.
Ammo.
He's not Ammo anymore, right? Is he now?
I don't know. I'm still calling him Ammo.
I'm still calling him Ammo.
Yeah, right.
I
was like, why would you change the name? I think he changed it to Tiger or something. I was like, no, like Ammo. Like people want to actually see you.
Williams, I love it. Ammo Williams.
Yeah. I think this is one that's gonna be really, really tough for the young man.
Yes.
I've had people tell me that I'm hating on him, and I'm like, well, he just kind of underperforms and underachieves to me.
Every time.
And thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way. Carlos Adames is a tall order, and I got Carlos winning that fight. I think Carlos is just going to be clearly one step ahead of him, maybe even two.
Well,
I think Austin Williams, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead, man.
I think Austin Williams doesn't live up to the mental pressure. Every time he's in a big fight, his mental, I see, always leaves the fight. Yeah. Like every time, like in those middle, when it's crucial rounds, his mental breaks. I think he need to get over that mental toughness through the rounds and how to navigate himself, because your trainer is not always going to be there and things is not always going to go your way. We know that, Shawn. You know that. So again, I think Austin Ammo Williams needs to understand that and needs to focus on that in the gym and whatever he needs to do. Because Carlos Adames is not playing. He's going to come, he's going to put you under that mental pressure, and if he see any chink in the armor, he's going to press it. He's going to dig down deep and try to get you out of there. Because I've seen that with Julian Williams. Julian Williams is a very, very great, he have a great mental capacity. Julian Williams has a great mental capacity. He performs under mental pressure no matter what happens, he never breaks. And again, Carlos forces you to. He forces you in that mental bag. It don't be about stamina. It don't be about skill all the time. He forces you to be mentally strong, and I don't think Austin Williams can handle that mental pressure.
Well, one thing that could make it interesting, though, too, is he's not fighting a giant this time,
right?
Like Hamza Shiraz,
Yeah.
who's now wasn't just a tall middleweight, but is a big super middleweight.
Yeah.
Like,
And a heavy puncher, guys.
And better, I think, at 68 with his feet on his leg, his
build.
Build.
Yes,
Yes. Right.
It works better for him at 168 than 160.
60.
I
Yes,
think
it
so,
does,
too.
Shawn. Yes, it does.
But Adames is a former 54. And Adames is a better overall pro than Austin Williams is. But he is more of a come forward guy. He is a more mid-range, get in the pocket guy.
He put you under that mental pressure.
Right. But that will give Austin potentially a chance, and not the size disadvantage this time around, to land his explosive left hand in front of a guy who is shifty and moves his head coming in and has skills.
Right.
But
right.
Maybe he has a chance because the style matchup isn't against a giant, and it's against a guy at the end of the day who does his best work coming to get it.
Right.
So, we'll see. Ammo's always been an explosive fighter.
He always has been.
So-
Again, it's mental for me.
Yeah.
I watch it.
Keyshawn Davis, Jamaine, Ortiz. I think this one was gonna be height.
I'm curious how Keyshawn deals with Jamaine's feet.
I'm curious I'm curious to see if Jamaine Ortiz is going to study the game plan that a kid by the name from Philadelphia go through, by the name of Wu, we call him, Nair Albright. I think Nair Albright had moments in that Keyshawn Davis fight. You can call me what you want to call me, but I think he had a little bit of, and I'm not just saying that because the kid's from Philadelphia and he's my little bro. I think Nair Albright had very significant, great moments in that fight.
It was a majority decision.
Yes.
So,
I'm saying to Jermaine Ortiz, if I'm Jermaine Ortiz, I'm studying what moments Nair Albright had to try to keep and see if I can maintain that kind of momentum that he had. Because again, Nair Albright didn't maintain that same momentum. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn Davis took it to a different level. And I'm not saying that in a way of Keyshawn is not good or he's not, but he raised the bar a little bit for Nair Albright. He showed that pedigree, that Olympic pedigree, that OTC pedigree. He rose to that occasion. And again, Nair Albright is a guy from Philadelphia who just fights, who knows how to fight, who studied the greats. Nair Albright, he studies a guy by the name of Georgie Benton all the time. Guy from 1940s, the uncrowned champ. They call him
shoulder roll. Yeah,
yes, he invented the Philly shell. So again, but he didn't have the amateur pedigree such as Keyshawn Davis did, and I think that showed. That all that came out, all that Olympics, all them trials, all them dudes, everything that Nair Albright didn't have, Keyshawn Davis showed, and I think that's why he won the decision. And I'm curious to see the things that Nair Albright like that. Is Jermaine Ortiz going to steal that same game plan and try to maintain that same momentum and try to raise that bar if Keyshawn raises the bar? I'm curious of that.
I'm inclined to believe that Jamaine is a bit of a chameleon where he can do something like that. Watch a fight, watch the success, and say, you know what, that's what we gonna do. I got a feeling he can actually do that. So
I like that, Shawn. That's exactly what I want to see. That's all I want to see. That's all. If he can maintain that momentum, that's Shawn. If I can watch this fight and maintain that type of thing, and forces him to go in that bag. I'm curious to see. You said you think Jermaine Ortiz can do it, so I'm curious to see, brother. I'm curious to see.
Well, he's got to study his own fights with Loma and Teofimo too. No, he's right. And Georgie Benton, by the way, Buddy McGirt told me a long time the reason he invented the shoulder rolls, he didn't like doing road work, so he didn't feel like turning around in the center of the ring a lot, so he just stay right there and make you miss that way. That's what Buddy told me. Back in the day.
He was a bit of a pool shark.
Okay.
So that's how he spent his days. Hustling, playing pool in the Philadelphia area back in the day, way back in the 60s and 50s. Wow. But again, it was a great invention.
Right. Ingenuity.
A guy.
I'm hungover from last night. I can't move around this ring.
If I'm hanging out in the pool hall, let me try to figure this out. But
what were you saying?
But he's got to be honest with himself heading into this fight, and every fighter that steps through the ring is letting them hang, and for sure. But you got to let them hang for real, because all the way down. Pause. Because against Lomachenko, second half, the older man came on and took it from you. Against Teofimo, okay, you frustrated him, but you didn't do enough to win. You did enough to make him look bad. You did enough to hold your own with the champion. You didn't do enough to take it from him. This third time has to be the charm for you, win or lose, when it comes to whether I win this fight or whether I lose this fight. I'm going to look in the mirror and not say,
I just did enough.
Yeah, if I would have done this.
More. If I would have done
everything
more.
I could have done to win this fight.
So you're saying Jamaine Ortiz just to do just enough to say, I just did enough.
I hung. I was on that level. I hung in there. Like
so, yeah. He want to say that he just do enough. He don't want to say I came out on top. Yeah. So you saying he's always going to fight at that level? Such, not to say it, but a gatekeeper mentality.
That's a gatekeeper mentality.
Thank you, Shawn.
You got to come into New York City and say, this is.
Does he have a gatekeeper mentality or not? See, Shawn said another. He has that gatekeeper mentality.
And Keyshawn does not.
No, he's gonna rise.
I always say I love the guys that don't follow the script. You don't come in here knowing that I'm not supposed to win this fight. I'm gonna just
do it just enough.
You're right. I kind of feel like that's where Jamaine Ortiz has been for a little while. I hope that this. Let's look at the other side of this. He's got a couple of losses. What, 3 losses?
Two. With one draw.
Right. Yeah, in the draw, yeah.
Right.
So he's got a couple of losses, and we always, that when you were one loss away from getting written off,
Right.
You're looking at this kid, even though they're roughly the same age, this dude has done so much more than you at this tender age. It's like, man, you got to be hungry. I want everything you got, and I can't lose this one. I hope that's the mentality the young man has, because I think that's not only a mentality that will produce a win for him, but a great fight for us.
He was better than you as an amateur. He's been better than you as a pro. You got to convince him otherwise with your full being this time around.
Prime example. Take a look at Raymond Muratalla.
Yes, he did.
This dude
showed
up.
That dude showed up.
I talked to Zittel. Zittel said his mind he can see that this tunnel vision and the mind, and I'm like, oh no. I told you, I said he needs success in at least the first 2 to 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And I think he had.
And he
but
did.
I'm not saying that he did what he did because of some success that I thought he needed to have early in the fight.
I thought Cruz
he did what he did.
Yes, he did.
He came in. You gotta have that kind of mentality.
Yep.
That mentality would take you over the top.
Shawn is absolutely right. You cannot have that gatekeeper mentality that you had in the past. And you always say, well, I ain't look bad. I just did enough. And I didn't win. But it's not like you chasing a win. You coming in with the mentality, I just want to do enough. No, going with the mentality where I want to die a champion. I want to live a champion. I want to go ahead and give it all like
I get people all the time, your fight with Terrence was this. Your fight with Earl was that last night. I just smile, thank you. I want to talk about it. I don't want no moral victories and how, it is fun to hear how much excitement people have had watching me and stuff like that. But I just be like, thank you, because I don't want to talk about a fight that I didn't come on top.
Right.
Give a damn how good I look and looked and all
that shit matters. That's how I feel. That's a winner's mentality. That's just what it is.
So I knew there's not much to say to you last night. It was just that's why I said, bro, just be proud of yourself.
That's all you said.
That's all I said. Man. I don't need to see nothing else.
That's all you said.
Because I know anymore. You like, my hand didn't get raised. I feel you, Shawn. Thank you, but my hand didn't get raised.
Right. Shawn, you understand that though.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't understand that. What Shawn just said. My hand didn't get raised. I do feel it. When Shawn just said, when we were running, that was a competitive thing. Shawn mentally outran me. Again, when we fought in the amateur, Shawn mentally, I was going to the 3rd round up by a point or 2. And Shawn mentally defeated. It was he won by 2 points because he knew what to do, but the mental capacity.
We got to talk about that fight.
Nature.
We got to talk about that fight.
We both want to win. We're not going to accept, I just went in here and I almost did. Well, I did my best. Y'all proud of me? I'm not proud of myself if we lose.
We got to talk about that fight. Listen, we are going to do a strong preview of Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez.
Can I ask you guys a question about that fight before we
get No. Which one?
Shakur Teo.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which is, so I think a lot of people feel like Teo being the natural 140 or the bigger, supposed to be the bigger man and the bigger puncher and everything, that he should stalk Shakur. But I feel like I've seen that movie before when he comes in with his lead hand down and he becomes a little predictable. He loses his jab and he basically becomes right hand happy. And he throws it in different ways. He sweeps it to the body, sweeps it to the head, tries to do. Should he use all that athleticism and his angles, and should he be Gordo, like they called him in the amateur? Should he try to do what he did against Barboza, which is way different than trying to do it against Shakur Stevenson?
Right.
But if you know, when you've tried to stalk these back foot fighters like Jamaine, like Sandor, and it hasn't made you look at your best. Can you find a way to make Shakur take that step forward and try to actually outbox and be the more athletic fighter than Shakur and say, no, you take a step forward, at least more than you want to. Obviously, he can't do that all 12 rounds. He's going to have to press Shakur at different times. But don't do what you did even against Lomachenko. Don't be on the front foot. Try to outbox him, essentially. Make him come forward.
You got to be smart. You know, going into the fight with Adrian Bronner, my dad, as soon as we had that fight signed and everything, my dad, first training camp, the first training session, I'll never forget. He was like, we're not going at this kid. That's the game plan. And I'm just like, all right. He said, you go after him in the first round, you're going to be chasing him all night. It's going to be ugly. He said, we're going to have to meet him in the middle of the ring. He said, I don't want none of that fainting. I don't want none of that. Don't throw no double jabs. Don't throw no 1-2-3s. No combinations. None of that. He said, just stand there in the middle of the ring. Use your jab. Don't get hit. Have your defense tight and try to box him to get him to feel comfortable. He said if he gets uncomfortable early in the fight, he's going to be uncomfortable and he's going to be moving the whole fight. And that was essentially what we thought, how we needed to set up Adrian Bronner to make it a good boxing match for us to set him up so we could do our thing. Basically, we got him to be a little bit more forward than he's used to being. Now it's time for you to go backwards and you're already, the train analogy. Once the train is going forward, it's hard to take that thing.
Yes,
you know
it
what I mean?
is. Yes, it is,
Same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
My fight with you.
Right.
We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I think just to your point, I think that that's a beautiful concept. And the question is, have they thought of that concept? Is there someone else that can pull on?
It's just, yo, bro, you gonna knock them out.
It gets to a point, till we gonna talk about our fight. It gets to a point where you can't be who you are. You have to be who you need to be in order to win.
Yes, it is.
My fight with this young man right here, and y'all see how tall he is. Stand up real quick.
Stand up right there.
You see how goddamn tall he is. I said, yo, he got taller. I said he got taller since I last seen him. When I got out the car, I wasn't even gonna say that. I said, yo, I think he got taller. But naturally, you would think because I'm the shorter guy, I'm supposed to be on the inside. I'm supposed to rough you up. I'm supposed to bang you and all that kind of stuff. And I learned and developed this way to give tall fighters, to force tall fighters to give up their height.
Bro, I did.
To force tall fighters to give up their reach.
I didn't even realize that was a thing until, again, I fought Shawn Porter. I was so used to beating everybody on the back leg, on the boxing, on the outside. But as soon as Shawn Porter had me chasing him, and I'm sorry if y'all can see this, I'm running and it felt so uncoordinated and awkward. My body was like, why? And then I run into a straight right hand, boom, and then he'd be over here, and then he'd turn it up, boom. And then I'm like, yo, just fight how you was fighting the first 2 rounds. I was winning. I was up going into the 3rd round. Shawn's got that movement, brother, and I was walking around like the mummy.
Guys too, right?
Yeah, but not as sharp or as he knew what he was doing.
Mine was methodical. His was just to run you into that left.
Yeah. That's it.
I'm only setting up the left. With me, I was setting up the jab, setting up the right hand, the hook, the body work.
You never knew was coming. Yeah. Shawn was moving in there with a game plan. And again, for a guy, again, like he said, to back what he's saying, a guy who's not used to boxing coming forward, it really messes your whole thing up.
There it is. So I knew getting into the ring, and I didn't communicate this with my dad. It should have been, hey, we gonna go to the body and we gonna break him down and we gonna tear the tree down. And it should have been for me. It should have been, well, I think I gotta force him to give up his reach and force him to come at me, and then I'll be able to. It just was my mindset was like early on. I saw how tall you were,
right,
and I saw how long you were, and I saw you fight before, so I knew you was good,
right.
And I was like, with somebody good like that, I called back on the experience I had with what's the kid's name?
Jacobs or Boo Boo?
No, Boo Boo with Demetrius Andre,
right,
with Boo Boo, right? So first time I saw Boo Boo fight, I was like, yo, that dude,
Right.
We went in the first fight with him, and I knew like he was gonna outbox me, and I was doing what my dad was asking me, and then I got outboxed.
Right.
So when I fought him again, I was like, I talked to Brad Solomon. Brad Solomon's like, yo, he a counter puncher. Make him punch first, and you gonna get him. And boom, boom.
Right.
I didn't talk to my dad about it. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
right.
I pulled on that experience when I fought you, and I was like, I'm gonna force him to come at me, punch first,
And
give
that
up
was-
his distance.
That was brilliant.
But in the process, it kept the fight close.
Yes, it did.
It kept the fight mad close.
Yes, it
You
did.
were up and
I was
for
up.
2 points going into the last round.
Yep.
Or a point going into the last
it
round.
was a point or two.
And I'm frantic because I'm not doing what my dad's telling me to do. My dad is
Yes,
da.
I remember.
And
You gotta go get him. You gotta go get him now, Shawn. This is the time he grabbed on Sharon hair. I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, is this close? Because they usually had a scoreboard fishing the crowd.
Yeah.
It had me up 2 points.
yeah.
I'm like, Shawn gonna come. I said, in my mind, I said, Shawn is gonna come get me now. His dad is yelling at him like this. This is gonna be the wrong time. I'm gonna check her. I'm gonna spin out of there. I'm already thinking. But when Shawn came
And my
out,
mind was like, no, I gotta stay with this because it's gonna work. I knew I was gonna have a chance with my fast hands and my quick feet to touch you,
You trust
and
yourself.
get out and get away, right?
you bet on yourself that fight, Shawn.
So the fight is moving, 30 seconds, 40 seconds in, whatever it was, and I end up, my dad is still yelling at me, and I hear him, and I'm like, I gotta make this work. I caught you with a right hand.
Yes, you did.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ran me into a hook.
I caught you with a hook,
And gave me the 8 count.
and I gave you the 8 count, right? Gave you the
Did
8
you not
count.
see the hook coming?
You know why I didn't see it coming? Because when his dad was yelling at him, you gotta go get him now. And Shawn stood up like this. Like he gonna come. But when he came out and I had to put all my foot on my front feet, my dad told me to be a boxer, just how Shawn said. And Shawn ran me into it. I thought he was gonna come. I put all my weight on my left leg. Like trying to get to him. But I didn't know how to go get a fighter that is shorter, and that's what threw my whole rhythm off.
Yeah.
And my expectations was Shawn is gonna come out here and he's gonna try to come get me like his dad said. His dad is in his ass, his dad is yelling at him, that's frustrating. I know how I feel. My dad telling me, just keep doing what you're doing, he's gonna come at you this round, this, that, and third. But when I ran to Shawn, when Shawn didn't come out to me and try to come get me, I think that was beautiful. That was brilliant on his part. That was magnificent.
So I caught him with the hook, buckled his legs. They
Gave
stepped
me
in
8
and gave
count.
him an 8 count. For anybody that don't know, when the rep think you hurt, their job is to step in, give you the 8 count. It's about safety in the amateurs.
Yes,
blah,
it
blah,
is.
blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The way we operate, bruh. My dad said, anything happens, you always go to the neutral corner. You look for me. I'm gonna give you directions. I went to the neutral corner. I ain't look over there. I don't look over there. So now he's on a whole nother level. I mean, barking.
Right.
It's that dog that you
Yes,
walk
it
past
is.
and I'm gonna bark at you
Yes, it is.
until you
might bite you in he might grab your feet and
he's barking, and I'm just like nervous as shit because I gotta go home at the end of the day.
Right.
We get back in, we going at it again, and now I get you to actually start coming at me.
you.
And I caught you with a jab or something like that. I caught you, and I'll never forget this. I caught you, and you basically like kind of came over top of me.
Yup.
When you came over top of me, I grabbed you.
Yup.
This has never been a part of our thing.
No.
Clinching, holding, all
Holding,
kind of stuff.
no.
We don't do that.
Nope.
We not on the ropes in the corners, and we not holding nobody. We
Yup.
working at all
Y'all
time.
working.
I grabbed you, right? And I leaned over the ropes. And I don't know if you remember this, but I looked at my dad. I said, what's the score? My dad said, don't worry about it. Keep fighting. We happen to have somebody in our corner that's never been in our corner before.
Right.
I looked at him. I said, what's the score? He said, you're up 2. Bro, I let you go.
And started.
And wasn't no way you was catching me.
Shawn got this thing where he do his foot, these fake foots. He was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I'm tripping over my own feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Shawn, what? Then he going this way. Then I'm like, oh. Then the time said ding. Shawn was like, looked at me and said, good fight. Came over, gave everybody a handshake with honor. But the more important thing, he looked at his dad and did a wink. When he took his head girl, he think I ain't see it.
Yeah.
But he looked at his dad. They was like, and the winner is out of the red corner, Shawn Porter. He looked at his dad, like, it was like, it was magical.
Yeah.
I never seen it. See, that's the thing that you got to be able to do. You have to be able to be methodical and be able to switch the game plan up if it's not working. And Shawn is a great example of that.
You can have a great trainer, but at some point you're gonna have to think for yourself in that ring.
I've said that about fighters. You know, you get to a point where it's the ref or the coach essentially is just to see what you don't see, give you that other perspective. And there comes a time where their perspective is usually more times than not right. If I had done what my dad told me to do, it's possible that I would have got to his body or caught him with another clean hook and cleaned him up. I could have knocked him out, knocked him down, all kinds. It's very possible.
Right.
But for me, in that point in time, my heart was just pulling on me. My spirit was telling me something different.
He trusted in himself.
And I couldn't ignore it on that one. I couldn't ignore it on that one, you know? Led to some hard times. Led to some hard times.
You know, you got your head a couple times.
But I definitely wanted to share that with you. I didn't know if you knew that perspective of the fight.
No, I didn't.
You know, the funny part about it is my dad has always been so loud and animated that you know the other corner can see and hear.
Yes.
I didn't know how much you like actually.
I was in the corner when I heard him yelling. I said, Shawn gonna come. His dad was always boisterous. You can hear his dad. If the 3 rings rolling, you can still hear his dad talking to Shawn. Because we had 4 rings rolling at one time out in that shoe. Sometimes, you know, Ken Porter was the loudest guy in there.
I boxed Daniel Jacobs at one of the U.S. championships.
I remember
in
that.
Colorado Springs.
I remember that.
And my dad started yelling at him. Yeah, DJ, you can't take that, DJ. Get up, DJ. This and that, this and that, this and that. The ref looked at my dad and said, "No more. Stop talking."
Get a DJ in.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that.
He has been on my side once or twice.
Always.
So to take it back, all the way back to Shakur Teofimo.
Yes, thank you.
Is that what Teofimo needs to do? Because Shakur is such a sure thing. He's been a sure thing since the day he became a professional. He's the legit favorite.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick against him. Yeah. But if Teofimo's going to do it, does he got to do a lot of what you just talked about with Jesse in that fight?
Number one, you have to understand that it is possible. I think with
you
Jesse...
have to be it sounded like you were stubborn about it. He's going to have to be stubborn, and that takes a level of, sounds like, patience and stubbornness at the same time. Because punch for punch, Shakur's the more accurate guy with timing and placement. So you're going to get touched up if you're Teo. Does that make you get desperate and abandon and go, I got to go get him and get on the front foot and get it right back?
And so, to that point, there's an amount of patience that has to be there. There has to be an amount of understanding that this might not be going the way it usually goes for me, but as long as I feel comfortable, I'm going to keep doing this. The more important thing is for anybody out there that might think that this is a stupid game plan and that they need to go right at him and that they can't outbox Shakur and all that kind of stuff. I would say this. Number one, it's not far-fetched. We just gave the analogy there. This dude is 6'12", and I was able to make it happen. But the more important thing is you got to understand that to me, it's going to take 4, 5 rounds to get Shakur to buy into I'm not coming to get you. It's not an overnight process.
No, it's not.
So for me, if Teo is able to use the outside and not get touched, and then find moments to, as I would call him, a puma, pounce in and get off, and then get back out, steal rounds, doing that.
Yeah. Where you're not necessarily more accurate punch for punch.
That's how you make Shakur uncomfortable.
Yes, you do. You do.
You can make Shakur uncomfortable by being physical and aggressive and stuff like that, but that works into his psychology because that's what he expects.
That's what he expects already.
This is the kind of way you make him uncomfortable.
Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler.
You make it a close fight. And
combinations, inside, bing, 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 bing.
Even if they're not landing.
Even if they're not landing, just to get him to just come forward. Get him to break his own distance. Get him to get out of that. I'm just going to keep my distance, and I'm not breaking my distance for you or nobody else, and you're not getting past. If you get him to start coming forward, you have a chance in my eyes. I really believe. If you get him to break his own thing, and his own thing is distance. My distance with my feet, my distance with my hands, everything is here. If you come here, if you get past my left foot, I'm going to give you this forearm, like we've seen him do so many times. If you get him, like Shawn got me, to come to him, and play into this psychological mental thing, and we running me in the shots. I believe Teofimo can win this thing.
There it is.
I don't got to pick yet.
I do and I don't. I mean, it's 50-50 to me at the moment.
It is.
I definitely want to try to make a pick. I'm kind of on it now. kind of on it now with making these picks and stuff like that. Real quick on you, Jesse.
Yeah.
What's next?
We're in the talks with Eddie Hearn now, trying to see what's next. I really don't know I'm still like, still after last night, it's just like, wow, for him to take something from me like that, mentally.
Yeah.
Because I still got that competitive spirit, that competitive nature, as we just said before.
Yeah.
I believe I won, and for y'all to take something from me like this was just, was just preposterous. And I believe that, again, I still, seeing all you guys that I came up with become world champion. Seeing all you guys, Danny Garcia, even Adrian Broner, Keith Thurman, Demetrius Andrade, all y'all became a world champion, and a world title eluded me. I just really, I really want to just try to still just, but I still believe I can grab one of those world titles, especially after David Benavidez just relinquished WBA. I just want to just be in it, even if I win it and not even defend it, I just want to be able to say, yo, I was a part of the amateur team that I came up with, the guys that I came up with. I became champion just like them guys. You know what I mean? I've been in the ring with all of y'all. Yeah. I beat some of y'all beat me. Yeah. And at the end of the day, man, I never gave up. Yeah. I always came to fight and I always gave my all. Yeah. So, to see you guys with that mentality, I mean, you guys really, like, that inspiration is there. If I could just win a world title, I'm okay. However it comes. That's my plan. So if I really want to fight. Last night, I don't know if Eddie Hearn was just talking, but Callum Smith is on the radar, and
he's fighting David Morrell, I think, at some point.
Yeah. After that whole thing, I would like to fight the winner out of that for the vacant WBA. If David Benavidez moves up to fight Gilberto Ramirez. Yeah. So, I'm just really looking forward to that. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But I just want to I want to give it all I got until I don't have nothing left. Right. And to be satisfied with my own career. At the end of the day, you have to be satisfied with your own career and say, I gave it all I had to win the world title. Right. Even though I didn't win, but I gave it every last drop I had until my body gave out, until my mental gave out, until I don't have the mental capacity to win no more. And I always say, once my mental and my edge of wanting to win is totally gone, that's when I'll leave, because that's when bad stuff start happening. I'm here before you guys, and like Shawn said, we've been fighting so long. To hear me talk clear, to hear me, not being, taking too many shots, and to be here talking, with all my marbles intact and my health. I'm not having health issues, and I still get up. I still take my daughter to school. I still get up. I still walk my dog. I still, I'm still out here moving around. I'm still talking with a clear mind and clear head. To have all my marbles still intact, I don't want to lose that, guys. Yeah, I don't. That's more important to me than boxing. Yeah. But that's my goal, is to, again, Shawn, my goal is just win a world championship like all you guys, and print my name in that class.
It's respectable, honorable.
You know what I mean? And that's all I want to do. Like I said, we battled. We was in the wars, and we sparred, and we ran. All the experience I had throughout the years, I just don't want it to go to waste.
It's one more.
That's one more on there. That last thing. Yeah. And I'm right there. So
to this date, my favorite Jesse Hart fight was how you thugged it out against Sullivan Barrera. I think he was a favorite in that fight.
Yeah, he was.
That was on maybe a Tyson Fury card.
Yeah, that was the co-main event.
Yeah, that was my favorite John. Yeah, my favorite Jesse Hart John.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, but that's the goal, Shawn.
Okay, we good? We out of here?
Yeah. Was he 6-1? Goddamn.
Yeah, he was 6-1. Cuban.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's it.
Yeah.
That means you bet 100 on him. You got 600 back.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first fight at light heavyweight.
Right. So, and he had fought, 112 with Andre Ward.
Andre Ward, and he would only beat twice before I fought him. I was the third person to beat him. Bivol and Andre Ward. He beat Joe Smith. He beat this one. He beat that one. So
he did beat Joe Smith, didn't he? Yeah. Who went on to become a champion.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Motivational message, y'all. Real quick before the motivational message, don't forget to send in your fan questions. Enjoy getting those, and we always do them at the end of the episode. So I'm a little salty we didn't get one this week. Hopefully we get 7, 8, 12, 15 next week, and we'll have some things to run through. But motivational message today: check in. You never know who's going through something. You never know what it is. I'm always talking to y'all about y'all, and now I want y'all to put focus on somebody else. So talking to the ones that may not be going through anything, big struggles or anything like that, where you still got a job to do. Make a part of your job, checking in with your family, checking in with your close friends, checking in with your colleagues, making sure that everybody's good. You never know who's going through something. And when you get that fatal call, that upsetting message that the worst has happened, make sure it's not because you didn't do your job. Your job is to check in. This is the PorterWay.